It is not that every time I make changes. Changes are necessary if the earlier one are now not acceptable. Otherwise, we don't have to change everything.
Indian artists have grappled with a long time that the form has to be modern or modernist and the content is Indian. He grew up in that environment where nationalism is very much embedded in the daily life of people. But they were genuinely trying to find things which connects them with their root.
Reincarnation, if we go back to same our Indian mythology, Ishwar, Bhagwan, appeared as turtle. Then second time it was fish. Third time it was Vara, and so on. So he remained Bhagwan, he remained same person, but every time the form was changed. So it was not reproduction. I sincerely believe that these kind of images that I have tried, it gives me same kind of a pleasure, very parallel or similar to the kind of pleasures I got when I made that. In this exhibition, majority of works are original, very few that can be called reincarnation.
So he is looking at avant-garde movement, he is looking at his tradition, he is looking at his own self. He is rather more of a person who is living with others, who is looking at the follies of others, but also looking at himself and seeing the same follies in himself, which is a very rare character in an artist. And that's why I call his humor also very self-deprecating. It is something that goes far deeper than that, and hence it's far more fundamental.
I feel very unhappy that our students do not ask questions. They should learn to ask questions. So when it comes to painting, what is it that you see in a painting? Image, or what is it made of? Creative drawing should have something very different, where you are conscious of what marks you are making. Main aspect of my work is my outlines, a very sharp outline. Composition is the last thing I think of. When I am trying to say, my sentences are composed, but I am not trying to compose that it will sound better if I use verb first or last, like a poet has to create a line. I am just talking what comes to mind.
I do not see any problem of his relevance or contemporaneity. If you look at the core of Jyoti Bhai, the core has a few common traits. One is that he is very grounded in his own culture, in his own locale. The other is that he is extremely aware of what is happening elsewhere and outside that local. And I think he is a classic example of what happened in Baroda in its initial years. He has been very thorough in his teaching, and he has been very thorough as a person. So if you ask him a question, he would try his level best to answer it to your satisfaction. And also as a human being as well as an artist, he is very interested in making connections.
It's like if you are in Calcutta and if you drink water from Ganga, then you are also having water of Jamuna, water of Satluj, any, maybe 1500 more rivers which are there. So when I learned something, or I was doing something like Manisha, it means I was also doing something like Vinod Bihari Mukherjee, something like Nandlal Bose, something like Ram Kinkar, also Picasso, and so on. There are things which have appealed me more, or like how very complex ideas which have percolated from Vedas and Shrutis and so on, are interpreted by, then again reinterpreted, and it comes down to a very simple thing. In a common songs, common sayings, how it comes up. That's what I try to put something simply instead of making it very complex, and so that you can have so many meanings. I wish there are 20 different possibilities, no. No, right from my childhood, I have lived in today. Sometime in past, but never in future.